Hi folks. This is a kids' church lesson for kids in upper elementary school. And this is our third one for the month of May. So you can check in the description below for information about the other two videos. But all of them are about the image of the shepherd, the good shepherd. Today we're going to be hearing things that Jesus talked about in the Gospel of John, ways that he talked about himself as a good shepherd. And we're going to be hearing them from a children's Bible that some of you have in your homes, so maybe you can follow along. We'll be reading this story from this story Bible that I hope some of you have at your houses. And we're starting on page 328, The Good Shepherd. I'm short. I'm a good soccer player. I like music. People learn about us by the things we say. Everyone seemed to know Jesus' name, but he also wanted them to know more than that. Jesus wanted people he met to know something about him. So he used things he saw around him to describe himself.
What other things did Jesus use to describe himself?
Well, Jesus described himself as a light. He described himself as a gate. He described himself as water and bread. There are a lot of different things that Jesus used to describe himself, but they were all things that people had lots of experience with. And that's why he picked shepherds. Most of the people he was talking to had experience with shepherds. They knew who they were. Jesus knew many shepherds. They were all over the hillsides. Shepherds made their living by caring for their sheep. They guided their flocks to water and to grass and to safe places for the night. Jesus spent time with them and saw how they cared about their sheep. People knew about good shepherds and how they cared for their sheep, so Jesus talked about himself as a good shepherd. I am the good shepherd. I care deeply for all the sheep in my flock. I know what they need to be healthy and happy. I know my sheep, and my sheep know me. In the same way, God knows the shepherd, and I know God.
Why are we called a sheep if we don't need that much care?
We might not always think that we need to be taken care of, but I think that God is always taking care of us. The reason we're still alive is because God is that force that keeps our bodies breathing and our hearts pumping the way that they're supposed to. So I think that Jesus uses the idea of a shepherd to describe all of those ways that God is always taking care of us, whether we think we need it or not. I have other sheep who do not belong to this flock. I care for them and give them what they need too. I call to them and they listen to my voice. One day there will be only one flock with one good shepherd.
Why are we quote unquote different sheep if another part of the Bible said that we are all the same?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I don't think that Jesus is saying that these sheep are different from us. I think he's telling us that there are sheep, there are people just like us who we might not know yet, or who we might think are so different from us that they couldn't possibly be part of God's family. And Jesus is telling us that God is looking after everyone, even people who aren't part of our churches or aren't part of our country or who seem really different from us. And that one day everybody's going to be together as one family. Jesus also warned the listeners about bad shepherds. Beware of those who will pretend to be the good shepherd. They will do some of the same things that I do. However, they do only what helps them, not what helps the sheep. They do not own the sheep. When they see a wolf, they run away to save themselves. Then the wolf will steal the weak sheep, and the flock will not be whole. The bad shepherd pretends to care about the sheep.
Why did the bad shepherd why did he not want to care about the sheep? Like, was it something that happened in their past life or something else?
Why is the bad shepherd a shepherd if it doesn't want to be a shepherd?
I'm not sure it's super helpful to try to think of the bad shepherds as like actual shepherds. But I do think that the bad shepherds in this story help us recognize that sometimes there are people who want to have an important place in our lives, an important place that really should maybe only belong to Jesus. And that people's reasons for wanting to have that important place in our lives and to like tell us what to do or have us follow them instead of Jesus, that they don't have good reasons for doing that. Those reasons are selfish. And so we need to watch out for that. In the end, the bad shepherd will lead you to bad places. Follow me. Listen to my voice, and I will care for you. How does it feel to know that Jesus is your shepherd and guide?
Makes me feel like I'm 5 again.
Usually the things I like to do, like drawing and painting, and also, can I hand this up? It helps me do the things I really, really want to do.
I think it helps me feel safe to think of Jesus as my shepherd. It's encouraging to think that there's someone looking out for me. What things or people can distract you or pull you away from following Jesus?
Bullies.
I don't know.
When I get worried about things, that can distract me from following Jesus. Do you feel Jesus guiding you in your life? How can you respond?
I don't know. Like, I don't think I understand that kind of thing because I'm too young.
Basically, the first question. I feel Jesus guiding me by the things that I do, like painting and drawing.
A lot of times I feel Jesus guiding me when I think of somebody that I could do something nice for. And the way that I can respond is by choosing to do that thing, to follow through on that impulse. What things or people can engine.
That's gonna be a blooper.
Doing for us. That was a loud truck.